The Olympics are over, but you have your own Olympics every day. My clients loved watching the Olympics. Everyone wanted to share something about them at the beginning of every meeting that we had before we got into the nitty-gritty stuff. One client said how cool it was to watch someone give what it looks like their all and then dig in and pull out more right at the end to win. How often do you have to do that? When we think we're giving it all and then life asks for more, sometimes we have to dig deep to get energy that we didn't even think we had, and we pull out more and we get that goal, whatever it is. I've often said that being in a leadership role is a lot like being an athlete. When it's your turn to be in the field, you've got to be turned on. You've got to turn up the heat. You've got to bring out your best, and you better be ready. But you don't have a game season. You are always playing. So, ideally, you want to be mentally and physically ready all the time. So when you're playing, you give your absolute best. You've got a game to win every day. Often you don't even know what that game's going to be that day, right? You've got to be sharp and ready for anything. So many of you have been realizing that the better you take care of your physical and mental self, the better you are at all of your challenges in life, especially if you want to lead and influence others, or just have that extra energy that you can pull up when you need to dig in deep. Many of you are realizing it. Some of you are starting to do something about it. I know you're probably not a professional athlete, but if you want optimal performance, there's a lot we can take from athletes who are at the top of their game. You may not be in the field every day, but your mind and body are probably being challenged at high intensities every day. And if you don't train for it, optimize your routines for it, eat the right fuel, get the right rest and recovery and training like athletes do, you won't be able to play very well or very long. Athletes burn out. So do you. They fumble. You miss a detail. They get injured. You make a wrong decision. They retire at an early age, but you don't need to. We've seen some athletes who have played much longer than ever before because our knowledge of how to care for the human body and mind has come that far. Here are some lessons we've gained relating to athletics that you can adopt if you're deciding to take on some better practices for optimal performance. This is Lucy Gable, Leadership Optimal Performance Coach, author, speaker, and professor at the George Washington University School of Medicine grad program, and this is Leadership, Life, Health, and Happiness. By the way, how do I know about this? I'm not a spectator, actually. I've worked with and alongside of many different kinds of competitive athletes. I've competed myself, and I studied these things. When I became a personal trainer right out of college after studying in the pre-med program, and again while getting my master's in exercise physiology, and then while working with people one-on-one and in groups. What do I know? I know to play at the top of their game, athletes don't exercise their hardest all the time. They don't practice full out all the time. They have planned days to work at high intensity, medium intensity, light intensity, and some days they take completely off. The scientific name for this is periodization. This is how they can keep training. This is how they can keep physically strong and improve day after day, year after year. Do you allow yourself to have days where you push, days where you work at medium intensity, and days where you even work at lower intensity or take off completely so that you can keep going strong? Athletes also have nutrition plans to optimize their fuel. Their nutrition maximizes their recovery after they've gone full out. And they practice nutrition timing, which means eating the right food at the right time to give them the right energy when they need it. Incidentally, I talk about all of those things in my book, Eat to Lead, when I talk about nutrition for the leader. But whether you read the book or not, do you believe your nutrition plan gives you the kind of fuel you need to go hard when you need to and take it back a notch when you want to? Athletes are also serious about sleep because they know it's important for recovery and for optimal performance the next day. How serious are you about your sleep and recovery? Your sleep and your mental breaks throughout the day are what keep your brain going strong, what helps your brain to remember things that you've done, things that you've learned, people that you've spoken to, helps your brain to keep your thoughts and memories filed and sorted. Athletes also have several coaches who watch their game, critique them, give them feedback and suggestions. They have athletic coaches, nutritionists, they have massage therapists, they even have business coaches. They know that they need to get the best information from people who know better than them, have seen other things than they have seen, have worked with other people, and know what to look for to improve. They know the power of community working together to help an individual be at their best. And there are coaches out there for you too. What kind of coaches or experts can you get on your team to help you be your best? There are people who you have to pay for. There are people who are free, but you want to find the best coach for you at the time. And think about having a number of different people to go to for input, feedback, suggestions, and knowledge. So, periodization of energy and intensity, nutrition, sleep, coaches. How many of these do you use for yourself to make sure you can reach down and dig deep when you need to? So you can run that proverbial extra mile when you need to. Sometimes that extra mile is working longer or harder, but sometimes it's digging in to figure out a problem. Sometimes it's reaching in for that extra energy to offer someone your patience or understanding or kindness or energetic listening, enthusiasm or empathy. Or to dig deep and pull up a good mood at the end of the day. Do you want to be a great player in all aspects of life? To be able to call on your best when you want it and have it be there like those athletes? Out of all the parts I just mentioned, what area do you need to work on the most? What's something you know you need to do right now or today, at the latest tomorrow, that'll make a difference? Remember, none of these athletes came out of the womb as Olympians. They had a desire to do something and they went for it. They had to start small, go through learning curves, make mistakes, keep practicing, and keep putting in the reps. And they had to keep tweaking, making small changes every step of the way to make something better. And on the way, they learned their strengths and their gifts, and they grew them. And that's how they became their own unique version of their best. And finally, one big misconception about the kind of motivation it takes to be a great athlete applies to you too. Are athletes always motivated to exercise? Are they always motivated to go to practice? Are they motivated every day to repeat the same thing over and over, being ruthlessly perfectionistic about small micro movements and repeating them over and over again so they could beat the top 0.1% or less? And then having a serious schedule, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Is there something different about this kind of human? Not exactly. Just like all other things in life, there are things that are important to you. You have a goal. You make a plan, and then you follow the plan. Just like them, they had a goal to be great at their sport. They found someone to help them make the plan, and they followed the plan. Everybody wants to sit on the couch some days and not work out or not do that thing. Sometimes practice sucks. Sometimes everything hurts. But there's this thing about motivation that it's not required to be great. You can be motivated sometimes, but on the days that you're not motivated to do it, you do it because it's what you decided to do. It's what is important to you. And you have the end goal in mind. At the risk of being trite, let's think about the smallest thing you do regularly. Brushing your teeth. At one point, you decided it was important to do it because you want your teeth for the rest of your life, or because you want good breath when you're out and about your day, or because you want to be able to chew food and you don't want pain in your mouth from your teeth. How motivated are you when you brush your teeth? How much energy and excitement do you need to do it? But we do it because we decided it's important to us. And if someone asks us why we do it, we can pull up the answers to it, but we don't even think about it anymore. We just keep doing it. And it became a habit, and it became easier to do regularly without even thinking. Why do we think that other important things in life have to be different? There are things you want in life that are probably bigger than brushing your teeth. Maybe not as big as being an Olympian, but somewhere in the middle. So when we think about the big reasons why are they actually important to us? Because if they're not important, maybe they shouldn't be goals in the first place. And then we make a plan to take small steps to go all the way. And if we don't know how to make a plan, we find someone that does, right? And then we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep doing what we know that we're supposed to do to get to the goal. In so many ways, you can be much closer to Olympic level than you might have thought. If eating better sounds like something you might want to tackle right now, I've got something new for you over at eat2lead.com. Of course, you can download the first chapter if you haven't already, and that's complimentary. But if you scroll down to find my new report, it's a complimentary, complete guide called The Executive Edge: Unlocking Leadership Energy and Clarity Through Food. This is a really brief 5-pager, but it is certainly a complete picture of how you might start to get more energy through your food choices. On the other hand, if you're thinking a team of people might be ideal, you might want to look into my Leadership Optimal Performance program, which is on lucygable.com. And that's an accelerator and mastermind program, which I'll be opening up starting this winter again. So just shoot me an email and let me know that you're interested, and we can have a conversation about whether or not that would be something that could get you to the next level in your leadership performance. If you like this episode, click like, share it with someone if you think they'll like it too. Leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to talk about next. And until then, I'll talk to you next time.